Drew McIntyre, welcome to What's on Scotland. I don't know how often you get home, Drew, so how much are you looking forward to being back on home soil?
I can't wait. I don't get home nearly often enough. It's been about 17 years that I've been gone. I went straight from uni. I'm 21. I was signed to WWE. So I've got this funny Scottish American accent everyone loves to rip on. But I'm still Scottish, 100%. Still wear the kilt when I work in that. Still push Scotland everywhere I go. Say from Ayr, Scotland as well. They were like, what's an Ayr? I was like, I'm from Ayr. I'm not just going to do Glasgow, so that's the only one you've heard of. But to get back home, it'd be awesome to see friends and family again. And the more the years go by, I want to be home even more and see everybody and watch my nephews grow up. And in particular, I'm so excited that WWE is bringing such a big show, not just to the UK, because it's usually in London, or last time the big show was in Wales. It's finally in Scotland, and I can finally show everybody we've got the loudest fans in the world. I just know how hot the scene is back home. I was there from 2014 to 2017 when I was gone from WWE. I was constantly working in Glasgow with ICW, watching on the ground just how much wrestling was growing in popularity. And it's just wild. Wrestling is part of the culture in Scotland, and specifically in Glasgow. And we could hold a WrestleMania there as far as I'm concerned, and it would sell out.
And we've just got to check up on a couple of things. Is it square and slice or square sausage? Roll and slice, how do you describe it?
Roll and slice. I almost got attacked one time in Glasgow. It was like very early in the morning, let's say. And I was like, roll and slice and an extra patty on there. And everyone stopped and looked at me. A patty, mate. Almost got attacked right there on the spot.
A patty. We can't have that. What has crept into your lexicon? Any little words that need to be removed before you come back?
Like, I use so much Scottish slang over here that my missus is always just like, what are you talking about? That doesn't mean anything. I was like, wait, I keep forgetting where I am. Then I go back home and I use American words and everyone looks at me in pure disgust and go, you've changed.
Yeah.
You and your Hollywood voice.
In the last 17 years, though, as you mentioned, what do you think the biggest changes are since you headed off on the plane to join this amazing circus you've been part of?
I get picked up and just dropped right into it. I had to figure out life. My clothes were piling up. They weren't magically washing themselves anymore. My electricity would turn off. I didn't pay these weird things called bills. Like, I had to learn to become a man, never mind a WWE superstar. But a lot of ups and downs along the way. And in the end, thankfully, I found the kind of performer I was always destined to be and believed I could be as one of the top WWE superstars. But more importantly, the kind of man I was supposed to be and able to give back in a lot of ways using our massive WWE platform. And we work with so many amazing charity organizations. We do hospital visits most weeks I get to be part of and meet some crazy inspirational kids that are going through things you couldn't believe, and they've still got the biggest smile on their faces. And I'm global ambassador of Special Olympics, very important to me, and that's the stuff that's important now.
I know that you put yourself through it, but physically, how much damage do you think you've done in the last 15 or 16 years since you started this?
Unmeasurable amount of damage that I've done to myself. I feel very lucky how I feel physically, considering I've wrestled since I was 15.
When you see all that punishment you put yourself through, is it worth it? You know, when it all comes to an end, at the end of a day, a hard shift.
1000%. This is all I ever wanted to do. Getting fired, a few years ago, or 10 years ago now, it's amazing what's happened in 10 years, really gave me perspective how lucky I am to do what I do. I make more sensible choices and things I do in matches. But we are consistent. We're 52 weeks a year. There's no off season. There's multiple matches a week. It's just constant damage in your body and traveling in the cars, traveling on the planes.
It doesn't sound like you get a lot of time off. So what do you do to switch off from the madness of your life?
It's a big part of the game these days, the social media game, especially Drew McIntyre. I'm quite the troll on the internet. And it was very unhealthy for years to be so consumed 24/7 with the job. That helps and you may succeed, but you'll just go mentally crazy. And I've found I've had more success when I push myself hard as I can when I'm at work, and when I'm away from work, I disconnect and it allows everything to process, and you're actually more successful if you're able to separate the two.
I've got a bit of merch with me today, which I thought might get a reaction from you, Drew. So if I put this cap on, what are you saying to that? Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, can you explain who this belongs to?
Okay, that belongs to a wrestler called CM Punk, who returned to WWE last year, and his last opportunity was coming back to WWE and thinking he could just jump over the top of a bunch of us that worked so hard to get a WrestleMania spot. At WrestleMania, he screwed me out of the world title. I won the title, had it in my hands the third time. Not only the only Scottish guy to hold it, the only British guy to ever hold the title. I've had it 3 times now, and then he screwed me out of the world title at WrestleMania. So I am going to batter him as soon as I get my hands on him because he keeps running away from me.
Tell us what we're in for at the Hydro. If you want to rally the troops and get everybody up for the night, what can we expect?
I was pushing for so many years for the UK to get a significant WWE show, and I never thought for a second they would do it in Scotland, as much as that was my dream. They just did a show in France called Backlash, and they're considering it the loudest crowd of all time. So this is me putting out the challenge right now. We got to show the world we're the loudest. There might only be less than 6 million of us, but there's nobody that can match our bloody passion. So let's show them. Here we, finish it.
I can't, I'll get in trouble.